Hello and welcome back to another episode of Ruining Your Childhood.
Welcome back to another episode of Ruining Your Childhood, one sculpt at a time. Today we're headed back into the horrifyingly beautiful world of Courage the Cowardly Dog and sculpting Courage's #1 hater. And of course we're talking about that smooth talking, cheating, toxic menace, Katz. Katz was always one of those weird characters for me that I wasn't entirely sure why he creeped me out. I mean, there's definitely way scarier creatures on the show. I mean, he wasn't jumping out at you or doing anything crazy. He was honestly giving Dr. Hannibal Lecter vibes, just the calm, cool, collected, always in control. Anyway, to say the least, he messed me up. But now that we took that ball and turned it into something that looks a little bit more like a cat's head, we could go ahead and start making his eyes. So after taking a large ball stylus and pushing in some eye sockets, I went ahead and filled those eye sockets with some pre-baked eyeballs that I made off camera by taking a ball of clay, baking it, then slicing it in half. Once I was happy with the position of those eyes, we could go ahead and start adding his upper and lower eyelids. For this, I took some flattened out pieces of clay that I cut into strips. I then laid those strips above and below the eyes, giving him that classic cat squint that he has. And once I was happy with the shape of those eyes, I could go ahead and blend the clay in. I then take a silicone sculpting tool, adding some detailing around the eyes, and then we have successfully made an alien head. So before I am unable to unsee this alien head, we need to start adding some cat features ASAP Rocky. Starting off with a couple of his ears. For these, I just took a ball of clay that I kind of ovaled out and then sliced them in half. Katz also has an incredibly triangle-shaped head, almost giving him a fox-like look, which was kind of difficult to make. I'm not gonna lie, it was hard to make this guy look like a cat, but also feel like a fox. It was really weird. But anyway, we're adding these little tufts of fur to the side of his face to give him more of that triangle shape. And then as you can see here, his eyes look slightly bigger, and that's just because I felt like they were too small, made his face look a little too much like a dog, so we went ahead and opened those up a little bit more. But with a little bit of facial refinement and whatever this was, we could go ahead and start working on his nose. As for this nose, I went ahead and pinched off a tiny little bit of clay, giving it a somewhat nose shape before taking my small ball stylus and cutting in some little nostrils. Then I flipped that bad boy over, giving the nose a little bit more refinement. Go ahead and pinch that off there. We got ourselves a tiny little nose that we could go ahead and take and plop right onto the end of his face. Once I had the nose all blended in, we could go ahead and take the back end of my X-Acto knife and start to draw in his mouth. Now, he's not the most expressive character there is, so we are going to be making his mouth pretty subtle here. But once I was done drawing that in, I went ahead and took a wedge-shaped sculpting tool to go ahead and push that lower section of his mouth back a little bit to help separate the upper and lower section of his mouth. And with that, we have all the basic facial features in their proper positions, so now we could go ahead and start the grueling process of adding in all of his little hairs. Now, typically the tool I use for when I'm sculpting hair or fur is the back end of my X-Acto knife, but this time around I decided to try something a little bit different. I decided to use these very thin pointed tweezers. Felt like they gave a really nice fine fur texture. And for those of you that are curious, it actually took me an hour just to do the head alone, so you could imagine how long it took for me to do the entire body. But now that we have all the fur done, I went over top of it with a paintbrush to get rid of some small little chunks of clay, and now we could go ahead and add his whiskers. To make up his whiskers, I cut some really thin pieces of gardening wire, and I just shoved those into the side of his face. I was pretty happy with the placement of those whiskers and how the face was looking, so we could go ahead and pop it in the oven for its first bake. And with Kat's head fully back and baked and cooled down, I went ahead and drilled a little hole in the bottom of the head that we're going to insert this piece of armature wire into it. Go ahead and give the head a slight adjustment, and then from there we could go ahead and start to build up his neck. I start things off by coating the piece of armature wire with some liquid Sculpey, then taking a piece of clay, I go ahead and wrap that around the pole, filling in the seam, and then I go ahead and blend that into the rest of the head. Once I was happy with the length and girth of his neck, we could go ahead and start to build up his body. Now, to make sure the body sticks to the piece of armature wire, once again we are going to be coating it with that liquid Sculpey. I then took this block of clay, then I start to slowly push it up that piece of armature wire. The reason I'm going slow is to make sure it stays in the center. And once I get it to the top, we could go ahead and start refining the body to make it look more like his body. But before I start adding too much detail to the body, I am going to go ahead and add his other leg really fast. With his other leg in place, now I have a much better idea of where the center of his body is, and we could actually start adding some detail And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not going to be trying too hard to make this exactly accurate to how the anatomy of a body should look, but you know, I'm going to be highlighting some major areas such as the bottom of the ribs, some collarbones, you know, the center of his back, maybe some little muscle here and there. Nothing too crazy, just mostly to give the general idea that he's pretty skinny. Now that I have the basic structure of his body complete, we could go ahead and add all those hairs. Now, for some reason, actually the body took less time than the head, but you know, it still sucked. But while I'm scratching on all those little details, I just want to take a moment to say thank you guys so much for checking out the video so far. I really hope you're enjoying it. If you guys are, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that like button, and if you're new here, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button. Just like that, we got those details done and off to the oven. And now that he's back from the oven, we're not going to accidentally mess up his bod while we work on his legs. And obviously I'm going to be using my tried and true method of sleeving up limbs here, and then it's covering the piece of armature wire with some liquid sculpting, then using a flattened out piece of clay that I wrap around that piece of armature wire, pinching it off, then slicing off all the excess bits. I went ahead and did the exact same thing to the other side, and then I could go around kind of pinching and forming until I get something that looks a little bit more leg-like. Now I was noticing that the upper section of his legs were looking a little too thin, so I went ahead and added these little pieces of clay to the top and started to taper them down toward the ankle. After blending the clay up into the body, we could go ahead and stop there and then move on to his arms. As for his arms, I went ahead and pre-bent these little pieces of armature wire off camera, but the whole idea is I want him to be holding a giant spider. I mean, who is Katz without his giant pet spiders? But once I was happy with the size and placement of his arms, we could go ahead and do the same exact method that we used for his legs by sleeving him up. I went ahead and popped that first arm out before slapping on some of that liquid Sculpey. Because the arm is bent quite weird, I am going to be opting for this sloppy fold over method before taking my X-Acto knife, slicing off all the excess bits, and then I'm just going to go around pinching, rolling, folding, and molding until I get these sexy little arms here. I was pretty happy with how the first arm came out, so I went ahead and made the second one off camera, and now we could go ahead and reinsert those into the body. After smoothing those out, I am going to be adding that fur, but I'm going to save you guys the headache of watching me do this 1,000 times and skip to when I'm done. As for Katz's paws, I went ahead and rolled out 4 equal sized balls that were just going to be sticking onto these little bits sticking off of his wrists. For now, his hand paws are going to be getting this very basic mitt shape before moving down to his feet paws to give them a very basic foot shape. And once I was happy with the size and shape of thus paws, we could go ahead and start adding his little fingies and toes. Paw toes fingers. Paw toes. Are these called something different on paws? Are they fingers? Anyway, now that we have his arms and paws done, we could go ahead and stick this little metal cookie cutter in his hands just as a placeholder for where the spider's gonna go, and then we could go ahead and pop it in the oven. But while he's in the oven, we are going to be starting on that spider. Starting off with the ball of clay, I'm going to give it a oblong spider butt shape. I don't know what it's called. I actually know nothing about spiders, cats, or frankly anything that's not human. And honestly, I don't even really know what humans are. What are we? Anyway, I digress. As for the head, I took a ball of clay, slicing off the back end and then pushing it onto the front. Went ahead and made these little fang bits that we're going to stick onto the front of the face. I then went in with a silicone sculpting tool just to give the head a little bit more detail before moving on to his eyes. And like I said before, I really don't know anything about spiders. I know I don't like them, but I don't really know anything about them either. I'm not really sure how many eyes they have. I know in the cartoon they at least have 2, so I'm just going to go ahead and give them 4. And that's what you call math. So now that we have his face in place, we could go ahead and start adding his legs. Now this is the one thing I do know. I do know that spiders have 8 legs, and that's just because of the movie 8-Legged Freaks. You guys remember that film? And to make these little arms, legs, and in-betweens, I am just going to be using the exact same armature wire that I used for the cat's whiskers. It's this really thin gardening wire that I'm using. I'm going to be keeping the wires nice and straight here before baking. That way they lock them in place before I actually try to bend them and destroy the whole sculpt itself. But with a little bit of texturing that completes the spider, and it's off to the oven. And with Katz and spider back from the oven, I could go ahead and do a quick little dry fit before starting the painting process. We're going to go ahead and set the spider aside and work on Katz first. Now I always like to lay down an initial base coat of the initial base coat colors, and for Katz it is red. And the color I'm using here is cadmium red. This is honestly the easiest paint job of any sculpt I've done so far, and it's because he's just one color, but you know, we could still make it interesting, we could still make it fun. So after multiple layers of making the body this bright red, we could go ahead and do the exact same thing for the head. Now I am watering down the paint quite a bit and just adding up multiple layers. This gives the paint job a really nice flat look and eliminates those paint strokes. After about 4 or 5 layers and letting the body completely dry, we could go ahead and add some washes. I went ahead and made this wash by using cadmium red, crimson red, and some black. Really watering it down, slopping it on top, letting it sink down into all those little hair details. And after letting it sit there for a few seconds, I could then go over top of it with a piece of cloth just to wipe off the outer layer. And now that I have his body completely covered in this delicious soup and fully dried, we could go ahead and do the same exact process for his head. And with Katz finally dry, we could go ahead and start adding another wash underneath his eyes and alongside of his nose. This color that I'm using is kind of a purplish red. Not really actually sure what it's called, but kind of a purpley color. This is really gonna help just make the details on his face pop a little bit more. And now that we're mostly done with his fur, we could go ahead and paint his whiskers black. And for this, I'm just using the color black. For those of you that are curious what types of paint I use, the brand I'm using is Vallejo. You could get these at most of your hobby shops. So it's Hobby Lobby, Hobby Town, Amazon. I'm pretty sure I even have some link to this video. Anyway, but now that we have his whiskers done, we could go ahead and start on his eyes. The color I'm using first is a color called Dark Flesh. It's this orangish yellow. It kind of reminds me of how the Simpsons look. And then we're gonna be going over top of that with a yellow wash just to make them a little bit more vibrant. And to give the eyes a little bit more depth, I am gonna be wet blending an orange wash in around the corners and sides of its eyes. To finish those eyes off, I'm going to be going underneath them and over top of them with a black wash. This is going to help pull everything together and make those eyes really pop. And while I have the black paint out, we might as well add his pupils, and we're going to be going for that classic triangle look. And with that, that completes the eyes, and now we could start adding his little purple highlights. Now, instead of just slapping purple paint down onto the ends of his nose and ears, I am going to be kind of blending it into the red to make it look more natural. So for this, I went ahead and started off with a purple wash, going over his nose, tip of his ears, and also drawing in those stripes on his back. After I was happy with a base coat, I could then go toward the center of those to make them a little bit more vibrant. Also add a little bit of a lighter purple to his nose and tip of his ears just to give a little bit more variety. And while I'm working on that off camera, we could go ahead and start on the spider. Now, instead of going for a realistic spider look, we are going to be doing something a little bit more reminiscent of the spiders that you saw on the cartoon, just slightly more realistic, of course. So for this, we're just going to be starting off with a black base coat where I just cover the entire body and the legs. After that, I go in with a dark army green, going over the midsection, and then I also go over top of the back butt section, dry brushing it on just to kind of highlight some of that detailing. I then use that color Dark Flesh to dry brush over top of the legs, intentionally leaving little gaps in between each stroke. This just helps sell the illusion of detail. And with his legs and body mostly done, we could go ahead and move on to his eyes. For this, I'm just going to be using a cadmium red mixed with a little bit of black paint to make them this dark red. Then using that exact same color, just very watered down, I go over top of the back adding these red little streaks. And just to up the NAS factor, the spider, we are going to be using some of this super high gloss Brilliant Extreme Mod Podge just to give them a little bit more gloss. And with that and a little bit of off-camera detailing, we're onto those JCPenney glamour shots. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and also leave a comment down below of who you would like to see me sculpt next. I'll see you next time.